Okay, happy Sunday morning. Let's see if I can get out of this wall. I was trapped inside the wall there. This is a little project for Glen, and he's building this barn dominium. Here's some pictures of it, and he had this company make this prefabricated stair. It's pretty good looking stair, and he wants help laying or planing the handrail. And so last night I kind of got some rough work done just to get a start so it wouldn't be too boring of a video. And he's already got all this stuff built, so he doesn't need to see how to build the barn dominium. This was his drawing down here I used as a base. And so anyway, what we're mainly concerned with is this stair and this balcony that goes around. You can see this picture is pretty good. The stair comes up here, the balcony goes around, and he's just got these temporary 2x4, typical construction handrail. Now, one thing interesting, we've got these registers that we have to deal with, and I asked him to measure those, and he did. He sent me this drawing. Pretty good. All those dimensions are good. And he also sent me the floor to floor height, which is a little bit weird because of the carpet up there, but we're dealing with that. And so I thought I got a little bit of a head start last night, and I realized, well, I need to show him what I'm doing. That's kind of part of the deal. These videos I make for my customers at atdrafting.com are kind of like the part of the deal. So I show them how it can be done. And so this will start here. I left this part open because sometimes when I zoom in and I want to zoom back, I'll get stuck in the wall, like this. And when you're inside of a wall and you're scrolling, it takes forever to get outside of it. So anyway, that's just a SketchUp thing. So I have this grand opening that we can just fly up in. So when you're laying out a stair like this, the most important thing is to know the floor to floor height, floor finish to floor finish. And on this one we had it was 113 and 113.5 inches, which is 9 foot 5.5 inches. Okay, and then if you're just starting this stair was already built, so I had to, honestly, it was a little more trouble because that meant I had to get the as-built information for the stair, and it might not be exactly the way I want it. So it turned out to be good though, because normally what I do is if I don't have a stair there and I'm getting ready to build one in SketchUp, I'll plan it like this, and it's really kind of cool because you can take a line and go from floor to floor. You have to know your finish material, whether it's hardwood or carpet or tile, especially if they're dissimilar materials. You'll have, you may come up with a weird dimension sometimes. So, but what I do is take a line and I'll divide it, and I'll go 7.5 inches is a good riser to start off with. And you want to allow yourself some fudge room. The code allows you to go up to 7 3/4, but you don't want to start out at 7 3/4, because if you have a little screw up and one step is 8 inches or more than 7 3/4, the building inspector will turn you down flat. And I've literally been on jobs where I have provided design work for people and they built the stair differently because of their ultimate knowledge of their and they had to tear them out. That was at least one job I can remember about 10 years ago. It was for a local builder, a developer I would draw drawings for, and his carpenter decided that he knew stairs better than me. And anyway, I didn't mean to get into all that. The main thing is you don't want to start out with a riser that's like, if I zoom in here, to save, you see, all I gotta do is click down. Well, in this case, I only had the option of 8 inches or 7.5. Now let me make sure my tolerance here is on 16 inches. where is that? Units. Here we go. Oh yeah, we want this to be on 16ths when we're doing stairs, like this. Okay. And so we'll click away, and that matters. I promise you, 1/16 of an inch matter when it comes to stairs. So now what you want to do is let's go back to 7. Let's go down. See, we got a lot more options here. 7 1/8, 7 9/16. Now that's the one you don't really want to start flirting with. 7 9/16 is the one that you can creep up to. Let's say you cut one of your treads a little bit shallow on your stringer, and or deeper, and you end up getting 7 13/16 for some reason. So you want to try to hover around the 7.5 inch mark, or even the 7 1/8. All it's going to do is add one more tread. You see, and we've got plenty of room to run the stair out here. So you don't want to flirt with, especially when you get older. You want the steps. You want to have more steps that are easier to climb, because you can always stop halfway and rest if you need to. Anyway, that's just a little tip on figuring out your risers. And then once you decide on one, if you're laying it out in SketchUp, an easy way to do that is, let's go to this one. An easy way to do that is to just draw yourself a box. Let's just make it 36 for now, like this. And I'm kind of doing this for people who haven't, and then we'll push that back 10 inches. Yeah, I'm kind of doing this for people who didn't see the, because I kind of did the first part of the video off the air. Okay, and we'll just get rid of that little booger now. You see, I was able to make a box out of the division, the line divisions that I make. Now you just triple click and make a group, and you're going to line this up here, and then you're going to go, I forgot how many it was, but you're just going to copy this down. Let's just say 15 times. You go from that point to that point, and you say times 15. Oops, that didn't work. What happened? We'll try that again. Copy asterisk 15. There we go. And we'll see if that got us down to the floor. And see, that's the thing. I was able to do 15 at 7.5, but I had to have one more. And this is what I was talking about. I didn't mean to do that. You see. All right, let's just do it this way. That doesn't want to cooperate. Let's do it. I don't have the patience to be screwing around. Okay, well, wait a minute. It was an optical illusion. Okay, I was down at the floor. So now, but what you can do is you can also kind of zoom in and make sure you don't have any, you see you got a little fudge room there because that didn't quite make it to the floor. But the other side of that is when you start putting your stringers up. Let's make a group out of this. Let's make a group. Oh, somehow. Oh, I see. Let's grab all these. And we're going to make a group out of this. Now what you'll do is get rid of this top one. Did I not just make a group out of these? I did. Okay, you're going to get rid of this top one because your landing is the top tread, top riser. Okay, so then what you'll do is just push that back, and now you'll have, you don't. That's kind of a noob way to do it, is to have your. I see this a lot where the top tread is there at the landing. You don't want to do that because your treads will start competing with your landing. You don't want to do that. So you want to drop it down like that, and then what you can do to make it look like a real stair is go into your group and select all your other little groups and explode them, and then you can draw a line down here like this, and then you can erase all those other little lines like that. You see, Anyway, I didn't want to spend too much time on this, but I just wanted to show you how you can roughly lay out a stair in SketchUp that using that manner. You don't have to draw each, tread and riser. You can do it that way. And then all I did was I'm going to get rid of that one because I already have it. And then all I did was go back and add the tread on top of it. So what you would do is you would take, well, let me show you. You would take this and pull it down an inch because stair treads are an inch thick. Come down to 1 inch, and then you can add, and then you take that 1 inch off the bottom of your stringer. This is how you do it in real life. Can just assume this is a big 2x12. What you do when you're marking your stringer, you cut that off the bottom. You don't cut it off here. See, that would make that next stair bigger. You cut it off the bottom of your stringer like that. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time editing this one because I've already done it. But see, now when you add your inch back, when you put your tread on here, which is again is an inch, and you come up an inch, you see now you just added the inch back to it like that. There's your, that'll be your, and see, you'll have your 7 1/8. We use 7 1/8 risers on this one because I don't know, I had to use he already had the stair, so I had to match it. But if I was building this stair from scratch, I would have done it. I would have added that extra 1 because I like having that extra little. I don't like flirting with the 7 3/4. So anyway, all that's gone now. Alright, so sorry I didn't mean to spend that much time on that, but that's for people who wanted to see the first part of the stair building. Like I said, this one's here, so I'm mimicking this one. Guess you can't rotate a picture, can you? Not like that. So now what I'm going to do is I put these posts. He wants to use 4x4 posts, which are 3.5 inches. Let's see if we have anybody watching. Hello, Richard. How are you doing? Nice to see you on a Sunday morning. Of course, it's what, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock your time, depending on whether you're observing daylight savings time or not. So anyway, he wants to use these 4x4 posts, and I have, this is as far as I got. They're gonna, what I'm proposing is that they're notched. You can see here I've got it notched 1.5 inches, and then on these other ones, that's so you can bolt it through. So however you decide to do it, either countersinking and putting a wood peg in there. I'll draw that in a minute. But then these others, what I did was I just divided this space up evenly, and I did want to show how I did that. What you can do is, let's see, I'm not going to get rid of the ones that I've got because I've got them already cut off, but I'll move them over. Let's see. Now I'll move these two over. I'll show you how you can easily divide that up. I'm just going to move them over 10 feet so I can move them back. But you can get your one at the bottom and the top established, and then you can grab this one and grab it by the corner and then go up here and set it there, and then say divide / by 3. And you couldn't see it, but it divided that space up by 3 like that. Now you can see this one turned out a little weird. So to keep from, so the way I did this one was I said, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and put it against this riser because that'll help stabilize it, right? So, and you can cheat this a little bit because nobody's going to notice, and we'll see how far that is, a 1/2 inch or something. Yeah, it's a 1/2 inch. So see, now you've got that little extra lateral or bracing in this direction. Or if you didn't want to notch out this tread, and I'm showing this to Glen too, because you can do the same thing. You could put it to where it's, you know, there, you know, where you're not having to notch out that tread, because, and the theory behind that is because your handrail is going to get strength in this direction from being attached to your handrail and all the bars that are going to go in here. I'll show you in a minute. They're like thick cable rails. But so you don't need a whole lot of reinforcing this way. You need reinforcing this in the lateral direction. The code says you have to be able to withstand 250 pounds of force in this direction. Your handrail will take care of the other direction. So I'm just going to undo that because I've already got these, you know, cut off and everything. And the other thing I'm proposing is that this post stick up like a newel post, and this one needs to stick up, you'll see in a minute, because the transition from horizontal guardrail to handrail, this horizontal part is considered a guardrail. This is, you'll look at the code, you'll see the difference. The guardrail is the horizontal on this, and the handrail comes down the stair. Now we won't have, technically we won't have a handrail because a handrail has to be graspable. You have to be able to grasp it. And you can't grasp a wide handrail like this. So what you have to do to do the handrail you want to do, you have to put a wall-mounted handrail over here. And so that means you can do this rail any way you want to. So it in effect becomes like a guardrail. And these handrails, guardrails on the stair, can be between 34 and 36 inches off the edge of the nose, like this. You would measure, you take your tape measure and you in a level, and you go up 34. That's 34 to, and then 2 more inches would be 36. So I like to put mine at about 35 inches in the middle, because again, you're kind of splitting the difference. Sometimes you'll have to depending on the type of rail system, you'll have to adjust the height of this. Let's say if someone didn't want this post up here to stick up, but they wanted it to look integrated. Well, there's a difference. I'll show you that if we take a line and put it here, and I'm going to make this 36. And see, you can adjust the height of this too. You can't make it lower, see. I can't make it, this part has to be 36 up here at a minimum. So if I came down, let's see, yeah, 1.5 by 3.5, that's that, and then that will come over. You can see they don't really meet up. So instead of having to worry about that, a lot of times on these transitions we'll just let these stick up, and we'll do sort of a chamfer or something up here. Is this I think I have this as a group, and then so you'll have to offset this like a half or something, and then raise it up a half, and then you'll just put your, and you can do whatever you want here. Any kind of detail, and then oops, I missed. That was weird. Like that. See, so you'll have just whatever kind of detail you decide to do up there. Sometimes people will put those little pine cone things up there. You can buy pine cone. Is that one word? You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one for let's see, pine cone rail. No, I'll just grab one. But you know what I'm talking about. I think you do. Oh wait, is that right there? Well, I'll just take this one. We'll use it. That's too lumpy. They're made. They're made out of. They're made out of wood, and they have a bolt. Here we go. What is this? Is that the bolt coming out of it? No, I don't know what that is. Um, we're just going to grab any kind of pine cone. We're just going to grab, because this wasn't the main feature of this video. Here, we'll just grab one of these. What are they? Some people will troll you in the way. Yeah, I figured. This was exactly what I was talking about just now. Some people in the warehouse will kind of troll you or something and put these gigantic objects in there. Anyway, so that just makes me want to forget that whole thing. Anyway, it's a little bulby thing that you put on top, and it has what you do is you drill a little hole in the middle, and you can screw it in. And now that I'm fixated on this, well, I'm gonna resist the desire to or the temptation to get into that, but I can't, since now that my ADHD is kicked in. Where is this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here we got another giant pine cone. Never mind. That fixed my ADHD there. I'm not worried about that anymore. So anyway, you do the same thing down here. We'll just go ahead and do it really quick. 1/2. Pull it up 1/2. Then you can run your, if you get this in the right angle, you can do all three of these, at the same time. Then you just do this one and it'll pop. It'll close all the sides, and then you just decide how much. And sometimes how much that sticks up is, you can buy these 4 feet long, see, and then it becomes a matter of how much. So that would be 4, let's see, well, 4 foot minus 1/2 inch. There we go. And that's kind of what decides how far it'll stick up. Sometimes you can cut it off. I wouldn't flirt too much with getting it at this point down here. You want to have a little above your handrail. You gotta have enough for your grandkids to grab onto and swing, because their whole mission in life will become to make this post loose after you finish. And so let's get rid of these guidelines. And so then these will be notched out. And typically what I'll do is, on these, I'll decide where I'm going to come down to, and I want to come down far enough to, I don't want to flirt with this edge like that, right? You don't want to kind of flirt with the edge, so you might go up 1/2 inch. It just doesn't look good, I don't think. And then you can, with the meat that you have left over, let's see, that's 1 3/4 inches. Oh, that's 2 inches. So you might want to go 1 inch and then come up, whatever your heart desires, 2 inches or something like that, and put yourself a little camphor. Maybe 2 inches is too much, and then you'll just shave that off. You're just trying to look for some kind of little detail to make it look good. Whatever you want to do. And then the most important thing is the bolting of it. You'll want to come and pre-drill. You want to figure out what your space is from here to here. That's 8 5/16. So let's just call it 8, 2, let's see, 2.5. And then we'll go up, let's see, 8 and 6.5. Like that. You don't want to get the bolt too close to the top of your stringer, because it'll bust it out, and because you want to only let's say you're using a 1/2 inch, then you'll want to make this somewhere around, 3/8 or not 7/16 necessarily, but um, the whole side. Am I editing this? No, I wasn't. I didn't think I was. I can tell the thickness of the lines. See, now if I draw this hole, the line's going to be thinner. It's kind of, you see how much thinner it is. That's kind of a clue. It's at 3/16. And you'll pre-drill this hole to this. Okay, you don't pre-drill this hole into the thing you're going to drill into. You can kind of get it started, but you want to make sure, well, you can drill a smaller pilot hole for that. You want to make sure that threaded part of the bolt is going into this. Okay, now if you're open back here, like I haven't drawn the guts of this yet, okay, but if this is exposed, you would be better off putting a bolt nut system in there, because lag bolts don't always work that great, especially depending on how much meat you're going into. So then that would be kind of an attachment method. We'll get rid of these. Let's see if we can find us a quick lag bolt, but it needs to be sort of a decorative. With they have them with the sort of pan-headed lag bolts. Probably won't be able to find exactly the one I want to use, but we'll just grab one. I won't spend too much time looking here. I say I won't. Here's one. There we go. But you can see a lag bolt is designed so that it's not threaded into the part you're bolting. Does that make sense? And the reason is because you let's see, 90. I forgot where I was. The reason is because what can happen is if you're threading into this part too, when you get to the thing you're bolting into, it can actually push it off. I don't know if you've ever experienced this. I have a bunch because I've done a bunch of lag bolting. My experience is about 44 years in construction, and I don't know. Let's see, how am I going to get that? But you don't want. You see how it's not threaded for a while, right? You don't want this. You don't want the lag bolt threading into your post. You want it threading into this, and this is why the length of the lag bolt is so important. Oh boy, I got stuck in the wall. And there's several different ways you can do this. I'm just going to get this close. What I should have done, if I wanted to be anal about it, I would have pulled this back. And I would have made me a little crosshair here. Then I would have taken this point, this little point right here, put it on that crosshair. This is only if you're anal, okay, about that kind of stuff. I mean, if you're doing it, if you're working in a machine shop, you really need to be, and so I try to have standards, but it's hard. It's hard, mama. And then I think I made these holes. What are they, 4 inches? Yeah, so I'd go down 4 inches, and that would be the other one. So, and like I said, they make, you can either get some, stainless steel, or something that you can paint, powder coat black. I think Glen's into this. He's into this metal work, so he can come up with a great solution for this. Maybe powder coating some lag bolts black or something. You just want it to be a strong enough connection, and you probably. I tend to shy away from gluing things, I don't know, people are going to think that's crazy, but if you use construction adhesive properly, you will tear up this. You'll either tear up your stringer or this post trying to pull it apart. That's how strong good construction adhesive is. So if you're really secure in your methods of construction, then you can glue it. If you're not, just bolt it really good. And once this handrail goes together as a system, then it's going to be nice and strong. What's weird is I thought I had made these two components, and that I was going to, if I fixed one of them, they would both be fixed. So, oh, let me see if it is. No, it's not. Let's see. Let's see here. Hope y'all don't mind, my dryer is going. I have to do laundry on the weekends, and after I put this down here, I'm going to check the comments. So that one would go there, like that. And that could be kind of a nice, this is going to be a nice detail. Check the comments. Oh, we got some comments. Do you do woodworking also, Tony? Yes, for a long time, since I was a little boy. I'm 60 years old, and that's how long. Probably since I was about 12. I always knew I wanted to be in construction. When I was even a kid, my first Tonka truck, I wanted to be a dump truck, one of those huge dump truck drivers. You know, the earth moving dump trucks. I wanted to be a driver for those, and then I realized I really just wanted to build stuff. So in high school, I went to a building trade school, and of course we also had a shop there. So part of the building trades class was actually had a wood shop class in high school also. And so I took so much electives. Back then the building trade school was considered an elective. Why? And so I had to go to summer school each summer just to be able to go to building trade school. But yeah, we had a shop, and of course now I've always had a shop, a woodworking shop. Right now I'm in between because I bought this property and I've built a tiny house to live on until I can build my new shop. So right now we're in between. Hey Warsaw, how's it going? There's Richardson. There's Richard, I meant to say. And well, nice to have you guys here so early on Sunday morning. But so that, and then up here, it's kind of funny because up here on this one, what I've seen in the past is this one will have a detail on the bottom of it. Instead of trying to let's go down and come down another half inch. Oops. What did I do? I came down 1/3. That was weird. 1/2. And then we'll do our little thing. This is one of those areas where you just detail it the way you want. But I've seen them put, did I get that corner? Yeah. But you can kind of let it hang down here, and you don't have to deal with all of the transition stuff. You'll see this a lot, like in sort of gothic-y looking handrail systems, where when you come up to this juncture of the stair, and it'll usually even hang down more than that. I would probably give it another 1/2 inch from there, like that. And so you see that that just gives you a way to just end it without having to worry about it. This slope coming up on this stringer, because you can see the stringer just gets kind of whacked off up there at the top. You see, oh, you know what? It's even with the bottom of that band. I didn't realize normally it's hanging down. So that worked out good there. So you could do it either way. You could let it hang down and have a little feature, do a little upside down pine cone, or just chamfer it off however you want to do it. There's a lot of art involved in woodworking, you know. The main thing about this one is it's going to have to be notched both ways, because it needs to be notched here. Is that lined up? Yeah, it's lined up. Okay, that's weird. So it needs to be notched because these are notched. It needs to be notched on this side down here. It also needs to be notched on this side up here, because these posts up here are also going to be notched going that way. So there you go. And then now here is where you could do something kind of cool, where you use that same detail over here. I'm going to copy this. Oh, I know what I need to do right now is, well, let me place this and then I'll figure it out, because I got to get this. It's already notched in that direction, so I'm going to put it right there, and then I'm going to go another 1.5 inches. 1.5. You see, this one goes in the corner, so it has to be notched both ways, like that. And then this one, maybe this is where you decide. This one would look better if it was hanging down for sure, because it looks weird when it has that little chamfer on the bottom. It doesn't look meaty. It looks less meaty. I'll give you an example. If you take this up here and you do that, you see how it looks wimpier, and it doesn't lock in as well. That right there doesn't lock in as well as keeping it down there. So that's going to be your option, your two options. And maybe it doesn't hang down as far as this one, or okay, what's going on there? That's weird. Or maybe you know what I mean. Again, this is where a lot of personal choice comes into play. But now what we have to do is we got to go locate these registers. So I got one at 19.5 and 163.25. 19.5, and that was, let's see, where was that? That was off of here. 19.5. I'll just put this line going over there. And is that right? 19.5, so we'll delete that one. And then I'll put me a reference mark there. Like that. And then I think you said they're 16 inches long. Let's verify that. Oh, that makes more sense, because they're 12-inch registers, 13.5. 13.5. That gives you a little overhang, a little 3/4 inch overhang on your little grill on each end. And then this one is 163.25. And so for that I need to put this back over here, even with that, and go 163.25. I'm entering these dimensions down here at the bottom if my big head's not covering them up. Is my big head covering up the dimensions? No, good. And then we go 13.5. I was worried about these grills. I had him take these pictures for me, and they're going to be about 4.5 inches wide, something like that. So we'll just show them in the middle. It doesn't really matter. We can't put a, what is that? That's at 5 5/8. What is that? 5 5/8. Then we'll just make them 2 and 2. This isn't that big a, oops. I wasn't going down. You gotta look at your little axis. And then we'll just draw us a rectangle there to represent the grill. This is, I'm kind of worried about this one over here, because really you don't want your handrails to be more than 42 inches apart, and I'm pretty sure that that one's going to be in the way, but we're gonna work this out. But this is what proper planning does. This works all this out. Okay, now the way you can kind of play around with the spacing is to take this one and copy it, push the shift key in SketchUp. You'll go over here and just line it up with that one, and then say divide by 4. You can see the /4. Oh, what about that? Did we get lucky? That's 4 feet. I think we can deal with that. Yeah, is that 4 foot on? There's 4. I think really I try to keep 42 inches is kind of the golden rule here, but since he's going to be using these 1-inch bars as the, you know, well, these components, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these 3 unique. That way I only have to edit one of them. So I think that's going to be the ticket right there, because if we do 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 is going to be too many. Let's undo that. I'll show you. And I forgot to delete the extra one over there. No, I didn't. I undid it, didn't I? So let's take this again. We'll copy. It's really move command and shift or control is the copy, and then you line that one up. And if you said divided by 5, yeah, see, that would be bad. That just looks like too many. And although you're closer to the 42 inches, the rail system that we're using, I thought if I, alright, so let's make sure there's not 2 right here. Yeah, sometimes when I copy them I forget to delete the extra one. So we're going to do 4 spaces. And again, we're just going to copy that one over, divided by 4. We got a nice spacing. I'll delete this one, the extra one, and I'll make these unique components. So now I can just go in here and, I mean, you can leave these hanging down, but I think these would be nice to you know, have a little different, be a little different, and we'll just leave like 1 inch here. Almost got it. And you can either do, you know, you can, whatever detail you decide to do on all of these. Did I get the whole thing? Maybe you know, I don't know, whatever you want to do on the bottom, you know, that way, or it just looks nice to have some kind of little detail there, or, you know, this way, there. But whatever we do, we're going to take these 2 and we're going to copy them, and we're going to put them up here. We're going to whip them around 90 degrees, and then we're going to put us a mark here up 2 inches. We'll see how that looks, and we'll put us a line in the middle. We'll grab our little point. Get over there, get over there, get over there. There we go. And we'll push them in. that, and then maybe these are adjusted a little bit to where you come up. Maybe you'll just have to find a happy medium on these, you know. And this is the kind of thing you have to do on the job. The main thing is not to flirt with the top of your framing. You don't want to bust out. Some people won't pre-drill their hole properly. They won't make the hole like the pre-drill the hole into the thing you're drilling in, you're lagging to. They won't make the hole the right size, and it'll split out what they're lagging into. That's kind of the danger, and you don't have any room for error there, so you got to be real careful not to split that out. Now these would also just be flat top. I'm proposing here that only the corner ones. Again, a lot of this is personal choice, but I'm saying the mid rails. Let's see how this acts if I use my Medic trim tool. Your 30-day, what are you talking about? Oh, good Lord. I have a deal with Nathan on these extensions, but he didn't give me a license, a perpetual license number for the trim stuff. Oh, baby. Anyway, Nathan's really cool. He gives me the license for those because I love them and I love him. So he does a great job with his extensions for SketchUp, and I'm just going to get rid of this. There's probably a better way to do this, but that's the way I'm going to do it. And we just need to fill in this hole and then get rid of these lines, because I'm going to push this down using the push-pull tool. And see, all that would have been a lot quicker with the trim tool, but it wasn't that much slower. So all three of those should be fixed now because I made them components. Yeah. Now the other thing I need to do is take these bolts, and I didn't put them inside the group, so it's not part of the component. So I can cut, double click on the component, paste it in place, and now all three of them have bolts in them like that. There we go. So we're getting close on our posts. Let's go to the comments. No more comments? Did I lose you all? Probably lost them. They got bored and went south on me. So let's see. Now we got to come down this way, and there was one registered this way. It was at 16 foot 3 inches. 16 foot 3 inches. Let's see here. Let's put a line here, and we'll come out 16 feet 3. Then I'm going to come back here and get a line this way just to get it up against that and make it line up with that. Then I can get rid of this one. This one was sticking out. And then you said it was 14 inches, I think you said. And then we'll just come up there. Come up 2. Oops. Go down 2. And draw our vent, our register, our grill in there. And then we'll delete our guidelines. And now we'll see how lucky we're going to get. Now this wall, like I said, really comes across. Let's take it across a little bit just so we can visualize that. And that's this part. Now we're doing this part. He's got 1, 2, 3, and that one, yeah, I would hold this one off the wall just a little bit. You can do it two ways. You can make it like a half post. Sometimes people don't want to see a whole post on the end, and you can make a half post to put here. But honestly, if you want to have less trouble, I think we're probably going to have to do 5 divided by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's try 5 and see how that looks. But we'll start off with this one. We'll copy it, move it down. We're just going to put it against the wall, and then, yeah, I think we'll do it that way. And then, well, I should have, yeah, okay, this will be good. Let me do that again, because I can do that in one action. I can copy this and put it against the wall and divide it 5 ways too. So I copy, divided by 5. Oh, we got lucky. And what's that? That's a little bit, that's 4 feet 11. That's kind of far apart. Let's do 6 and see if we hit our. Now you can do as many of these posts as you want, but I'm doing them the way divided by 6. I wonder how accurate. I wonder how accurate this is. That's 14. What you could probably do is cheat this one over. Oh, you don't even have to do, you don't even have to go, it's only a 1/2 inch. Yeah. Like that. Nobody, I don't think anybody's going to notice that. Now these can be, let's see, I meant to make these posts these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and first I'm going to put me a handrail over there. I'm going to make this a group. Did I triple click? There we go. Make a group, and then we're going to copy it. Then we're going to spin it around 90. Then we'll take it to there. Did I make this a group? Yeah. Now we can take one of these and spin it around and put it right here, and then we'll copy to replace these. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we can make sure I'm lined up on that. You can go 1 and then times 4, and then we can just grab these. I just wanted to make sure they were all items got to be moved over a 1/2. Yeah, this one's got to be moved over a 1/2 inch. Usually what I'll do, you can see over there where my cursor is, that green axis. I just want to make sure I'm on the green axis, and then I'll just enter the dimension just to make sure I'm moving it in the right direction. Oh, I forgot to delete this one. There we go. Now we have kind of features. We have the feature of our corner post, and they're hanging down a little bit, however you want to do them. They don't have to hang down that far, obviously. They can hang down whatever you want. And or not at all. They could just be, the only one I would hang down is probably this one, to just avoid having that same problem of wimpiness of having it up here. I don't think it's going to be very strong. If you move this up here, I don't think you're, I mean, you could bolt it in right here, right there. That's an option. But if you really wanted to get anal, like if you wanted to be an old Englishman woodworker, you know, an old samurai Japanese woodworker, you could do it this way. So I'm going to leave it like this, but I'm also going to show these bolts. Well, yeah, you're still going to put the bolts in there. So, but I can copy these. I might have to move them around a little. Oops, I thought I copied both of them. Yeah, you might have to move them around a little bit. I'm going to put them right there at first. Then I'm going to... What was that all about? Oh, I see what I did. Now I'm going to cut them. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste them back because I forgot I was editing those others at the same time. It might be that you only have room for one bolt here. Oops. Like right in the middle. And that's fine because at a corner you got the handrail bracing it this way and this handrail bracing it this way. So the corners are really strong. All this up here is going to be kind of strong, right? The one that's you're going to worry about is this one right here. Okay? And it's also the one that's the hardest to bolt and not screw up your that's right, I didn't put those in those, did I? It's also the one that you can screw up your stringer the easiest on. You see? And I just showed you why, because if you bolt this thing too tall, too high, too close, that thing, is that sticking over? That's the other thing. You might want to, keep this from, let's see, let's edit this so it looks right. This would come out, excuse me. I'm going to lock that axis. Okay, I'm going to come up to here. Then I'm going to go over to there. Then I'm going to push pull that over to there. And that'll be out of the way. So on this, what you want to do, you only want to notch the post that one time, and then you notch the tread. Okay, and the tread comes back to here and goes over to here and there. That should have that line. Oh, I missed it. How am I missing that? Is this? Oh, I'm not editing it? That's weird. Again, you can tell your line thicknesses kind of tell you when you're not editing something. And when you close it. So if I come around here and I do this right, you see how that line is real thin? Excuse me. I can tell I'm push-pulling, but it takes a little practice to get to where you can tell. I push-pulled that part that was heading down. You can see now that it's notched around it. So if I pull that back, excuse me, I have to take a sip of my Perrier. I talk too much. Let's get out of this editing mode here, and I'll show you how the notches are going to work. You see, the post is only notched that way, and you take a back saw or something and notch the tread, because what you want is this part of the post to fit flat against that. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take a screenshot of that. How can you see all of it at once? There we go. Control print screen. Okay. And then we will put it back. And that's how all of these are done. So wherever, and I'll notch them later. It just takes too long to do it all these posts, notching and all that stuff. So that's our post and our top rail. Now, what he told me was that we were doing 1-inch bars. So we need to figure out our spacing. So I think, let me see if I got any comments. No comments. That's crazy. It's crazy. Everybody came and left. It's okay. I got work to do. All right. Just kidding. So here we're going to go over 1 3/4, 1.75, and then we're going to put us a line from here to here. Down here I have to hold the shift key because it's not exactly lined up. And then we're going to divide this up into segments that will make it, let's see, 3 7/16. Our bars are, the handrail code is that you can't have more than 4 inches between, the bars, or vertical or horizontal, whatever it is. You can't have a space bigger than 4 inches. So we're going to have 1-inch rods. So that means, they could be technically 5 inches on center. But to keep from flirting with that 4 inches, what we can do is make them 4 and 15. That would be flirting. That's flirting right there. 5 inches is flirting with it. If you accidentally make a mistake. So I'm going to suggest we do that many. And what I'm going to have to do is draw a little circle. Is there another one up here? Yeah. So we need to come up here and come out a half, or yeah, 1/2. Those are pretty big. And then, I wonder if I'm going to lose my, I forgot to check to see how many there were. Let's just guess here. Is that 4? Okay, there we go. 4 5/16. Let me back up a second because it'll be a lot easier if I do this again and pay attention. Sometimes when I'm doing a live stream, I don't pay attention. I'm too poor to pay attention, man. Alright, so I got 8 of them. Okay? But is that 8 bars or 8 segments? That's 8 segments. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. Yeah. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a group of this. That way our radiuses won't stick. Okay, so I think that is our first one. 1/2 inch. And then now we can come down 4 5/16. Where is it? Right there. Times 7. Or what we could do, if we were smart, is draw a bar all the way across and then copy it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Now if I can get lucky and hit the end of that bar with my push-pull tool, oh baby, I got lucky. There. Did I hit it? No, I was wondering why it didn't look like it was in the middle. I didn't quite make it. There, that hit it. There we go. Now we can take that and make it a group and copy it down 6 times. Times 6. That a baby. We're getting good. And what we should have done was made that a component. If you're smart, what you'll do, again, I like to pretend I'm smart anyway, is make this a component. And we'll just call it rail, or we'll call it rail 1. You don't really have to call it anything. It'll be obvious later. And then we'll copy it. And that way, if for some reason I have to make, if I have to make adjustments, 4 times 6, then I can, I'm going to take this thing too. I'm going to copy it around. Then I can just make I can just adjust one of those rails, the cable rail looking things. And then I'm going to spin this around. Oops, wrong axis. There we go. 90. What happened to it? Where did it go? Oh, I copied the dang construction line and not the line. I wanted the line. Yeah, I want the line. I want that so I don't have to do my wondered why I didn't see it. Alright, now I can even copy this one and what would that be? Yeah, 3.5, that's right. And I can make it unique because it's longer. I'm trying to get to where I can see this end and that end at the same time. Oh, I gotta make it unique first. Otherwise it'll change all those others I've already done. Now I can bring this over to there and copy it down. You know, so I saved the hard part to last. You know, I'm really going to be mad too because I can use my extend and what was that, 4 5/16? That's funny, I just got rid of it. 4 5/16 times 6. There we go. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? Looking pretty good. It's really gonna look really good when you get all these, like if we put a stained look on these, you notice I'm avoiding the sloped part. I'm just kidding. Let's get rid of that line. We don't need that anymore. So if I was going to go in and, well, we'll just stain it per group and that'll be faster. If I was going to go in here and go wood, and I don't really like any of these. Wood flooring, wood bamboo. These aren't really stained colors. We'll just make them look dark. That way we won't have to put up with the. And this is really not the best way to do this. I'm assigning this color to the group, not to the surfaces. The best way to do this, honestly, is to go in and apply it to the surface, because you may have some posts that are, different areas that are different, stained different, and you want it to be you want the stained color to be per component, not group. So I'm just trying to demonstrate the color, and I'll show you this one. The reason is because if I go in here, let's say I want to paint these all black, which is probably not a good idea, but let's go named colors. Things that are black don't work very well. Named colors, where are they? I thought we had, colors named. They changed that. So I really just want to use like a gray, a dark, a gray. And let's select the whole face. And see now you see all these components changed, right? And that's really the best way to do it, the reason I'm selecting the whole thing is because sometimes you'll have little faces that aren't part of the cylinder, and you want to select them all. There you go. You see, that was better than me assigning it per group, because you could see they all changed at the same time. And then this top rail would be, let me choose this, put it like that, like that. See? Sometimes it's easier to see, like I have to get kind of close for you to see, the colors, or the objects. If you're back here and it's all stained and dark, it you kind of lose some detail. But so what we're going to do now is figure out the best way to do this. See if we have any comments. We'll take a mental break. Richard's still there. Thank you, Richard. Richard is the old faithful. And now we'll come out here, 1 3/4, 1.75. I never asked Richard, I know you know the metric system because you're a Brit, but do you all ever use inches, feet and inches over there? I'd say you probably use them more than any other European country. So let's draw a line from here. Now this is the one that gets kind of tricky because I'm just going to draw this, I'm going to draw this line down to here for now. But what you have to do is make sure you don't get too much space above your tread. So you want to get the bottom bar kind of close, and this is why I'm doing this. I'm going to do that and then do this. You see that line, that is right there. So that's going to tell me where this point is. I'm going to draw that line. I'm going to put a reference line there instead of that, because then I don't have to worry about it interfering with my radiuses. There we go. the all the usually your like radiuses will ignore construction lines, those reference lines. So now all we have to do is come up with a spacing that works, that hopefully matches up with this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a reference marker around here, and sometimes this has to be adjusted in the field. So if I come down 4 5/16 and then I come here, because this goes back to the very beginning when you decided where to put this rail versus that rail. See, because you can't have more than 4 inches of space up there. So, but you can't have, you don't want this rail on the stair to be really tall either. It's kind of it's a balancing act, you know. And maybe you do. If we have trouble with this, we'll just put this. The problem is it's not going to line up perfectly anyway because this angled cut is longer. You see how this board is 1/2 inch thicker? So if you put 4 inches of space in here or the same space, they're not going to line up anyway. See, but we might, sometimes what you'll have is you'll have the top, this top space a little different than this top space, but all the rest of the bars will line up. I think what I'm going to do is start out with them lining up and see what happens. So we're going to go out 1/2 inch, and then let's see, it just occurred to me though, I'm going to have to I need a reference line. See, the other thing is, the other difficult thing here is, this is why I put this off to last, is that you can't lay it out on a flat, on that plane there. It has to be laid out at an angle. And let's see if I can get it to cooperate. Let's see. No, I'm going to have to draw a well, what is this angle here? Let's check this angle. What I need to do is draw myself a work surface here to work from. Yeah, that way I can get this to cooperate. And see, then I can pull this out. Let me get rid of this. I know y'all are thinking, oh, you're making this too complicated. I'm not really. I'm trying to demonstrate something with the radiuses. Okay, so, and then I need this to go up here. Well, no. Okay, so what I need is that should have been a 90-degree angle. That's what I didn't pay attention to. Should be here. Will it do it? Come on, Sketchup, you can do it. Alright, I'm going to have to do that, and then I'm going to have to put myself and come down here 90. Oh, see how far off I was? Well, when you're working in 3D, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes where you are, to be honest with you. I know what you're going to say. No, I'm a gamer. I know how to do all this. Right now, I'm just talking to myself. I should be quiet. And the reason I'm getting this 90 degrees is because I'm trying, my radius tool will give me a little trouble. So right here, let's go out 1/2 inch. Okay, now we're going to get rid of all this stuff. Now I'm at the right angle, you see. And have I got a, yeah, okay, now I can see. So that, I should have left the radius there to show you what I'm talking about. So let's go back and I'll put a radius here, 1/2 inch, and then I'll run this one into it. You see how when you cut something on an angle, at the face of it is longer. You see how this is going to end up above that? See how much farther above that is? And that's kind of the predicament you run into with trying to line these up. So all you can really do is try to line the centers up. And that's what I've done here. So what I'm going to do here is get rid of this because I don't want it to interfere. And I'm going to get rid of that too. And then I'm going to bring this up. Now if I had my extender, my extension thing, my extend, oh man, I bet Nathan's not working today. I'd call him and get my license number. But for now I'm going to cheat and just run it into there like that. And then I'm going to bring this one down. Sometimes, honestly, it's harder to draw something than it is to build it. Because the human mind can manipulate things without even thinking about, you know what I mean? A lot of this manipulation stuff, like all these angles and stuff, are just me trying to deal with being a human. I mean, not having the same tools as I would as if I was doing it by hand. You see? I'm just going to get down here close because I don't want to run this into the post too far. I just want to get it close enough. And then when I get my license information worked out with Nathan, which I'm sure he'll be happy to do. Now I should be able to make a component out of this. I'm just going to group it first. I don't know why I'm in the habit of making a group first. Let's call it, doesn't matter. And then does it work if we go down? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what we're going to have, what kind of space we're going to have. We're going to go down 4. Oh, it locked in. Times 6. Oh. I didn't lock it in. I didn't click. I got to click, and then something didn't feel right about that. I didn't come down straight or something. Something felt funky. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to stay on that corner. 4 5/16 times 6. There we go. Now here's where the rubber meets the road. Sometimes the building inspector will complain about this space between here. You see? Now this, the way we've got it, makes all of our bars line up with the center of these. Right? They're not the same thick width when they hit the post because of the angle cut, but all the centers are lined up. Right? And this space meets code because if I come up here to there, that's only 3 13/16, see? So all this meets code. This should be about the same. Yeah, 3 13/16, good. It's all the same. So all that's good. The difference is if you want these to line up exactly with those, then you're going to have to and there's not enough space. There's not enough room to put another one. Usually there's not. Let's see. 4 5/16. Yeah, you see, you get down into the into the treads if you do that. So this is the age-old thing on cable rails. Like when you have thinner, if I have a thinner rod, I have more options. You see, because if I was at 4, if I was on the same, let's say I was using 3/8 bar instead of 1 inch, and I came down 4 5/16. You see, I still would be in it, wouldn't I? Yeah, you'd still be in it. Sometimes what you'll see is this will be a little bit higher, and then if you weren't in this, look at this case. If I was using a smaller bar, I could miss that tread. But this all assumes that my drawing is exactly the way it is in real life, and that's almost never. As a matter of fact, you'd probably create a black hole if you ever did align the drawing perfectly with what's in real life. There would be some kind of price to pay for that. So that's just a fact, as Brad Voorhees would say. I'm gonna select all this, and is my color still the same? No, I grabbed the wrong color. Let's go here and grab that color, and we'll do that. Okay. Now we'll turn off all these ugly guidelines, and we'll gaze at our wonderful new handrail. Oh, this is one thing I got to do is extend these up, because I raised the rail up to have the spacing. But see, that's why we planned this out, because in the beginning I was happy with where I had that top rail, and then I decided that I wanted to get the bars lined up on the center better. And you see, if I had made that decision early in real life, then my post would be short. And that's why you want to plan this out. Even if you just have something to look at while you're now, Glen can download this model and put it into SketchUp has an online version, a web version that's free. Then you could, I keep getting stuck in the wall. That's why I have this big chunk of wall open over here, because you get stuck in the wall easy. I think too, I want to edit this color so it's not so dark. I want to lighten it up a little bit. See how much easier it is to see things when it's not so dark? Because dark objects absorb light, even in your software. There's synthetic light. Alright, so what do you think about that? What do you think about that? I'm trying to see if I can get a good shot here for a thumbnail, because then I'll go replace the thumbnail of the video with that. Let's check our comments. Gary Kidd, I made it in today. Nice to have you help me pass the time along today. Thank you, Gary. And I use both, depends on what I'm doing at the time. Yeah, I had asked Richard earlier if they use metric or imperial. See, imperial, the term imperial came from the Brits, right? So I figured they would use both. I know a lot of your lumber sizes are in metric, because I've had to do, I don't know, 5 or 6 jobs in Europe. I'm doing this brewery in Bulgaria right now for this guy. He's pretty cool, Charles. He's a Brit. He's from the UK, and he's building a brewery in this ski town in is it Roslaug or something, Bulgaria. And let's pull this wall back to where it's closer, we can see better when we do our thumbnail, because I want to be able to have a nice thumbnail for the project. So as you can see, there's options to do. The main thing is planning it like this. Um, everything about this, I used to, when I was in my 20s, this was kind of a specialty of mine when I was doing carpentry work before I started my company. I mean, Artisan Construction LLC. When I was just a sole proprietor, I did a lot of handrails and interior trim for builders, developers, and it never really mattered what I bought from the trim store. You know, we have a couple of interior trim supply places in Chattanooga, and it didn't really matter what I when I got on the job and I started dealing with whatever was there. It seemed that things would change and evolve, and which is kind of cool. That's the way you want it to be, but doing it in SketchUp or some kind of planing it some way, even if you just take a piece of paper like this and you lay out the post in 2 dimensions, and then you draw yourself a plan like this, and then you can draw yourself some elevations like this, right? You just draw it and you plan out the spacing. Is it raining? And you know, so proper planning is the key, as usual. And I'm wondering on this if we don't show. Well, I mean, personally, I think this space here is going to be fine. But normally what the building inspector wants you to do is to get this space here uh, as small as you can, and then they forgive the fact that this is 4 inches or bigger than 4 inches, because there's no way to use these type of rails and get any. Obviously, you can't get this, and they kind of forgive this part. They won't forgive it up here or between there. You still have to have less than 4 inches, but they want you to try to get this. So the only other thing I can think of is if I want to group all these, and I move this over, let's say 36 inches. We'll just get it all the way over there. Let's group it though. I didn't group it, did I? That way it's just one big group. Yeah. And then let's draw us another line, because we can go back and forth. We can play with this spacing. We can get this spacing right. Well, that's not what I meant to do. 1.75. And let's just get, it's probably what I should have done. I probably should have started from this on the spacing and went to that. So I'm realizing that. So now I'm going to give an option on the spacing. If the, I'm trying to get that to, it's not cooperating. I'm trying to get a construction line. It's not cooperating. There we go. I want to put one right here, and then I can get rid of this line, which my radiuses are going to interfere with. And now I can draw. What we're going to experiment with is a little bit closer distance and a thinner rod. So that we know that's where our tread intersects right there. Okay, so now we're going to try to come up with we're going to divide this, and let's see, well, what we have to do though is, what's funny about this is that means we have to come up the diameter of whatever we're using. So let's go up, well, let's just try it with a 1 inch. Let's just say, let's go up, we'll go up a 1/2 inch and we'll say that's the bottom of it. And then we'll go up another 1/2 inch. So I should have just gone up 1 inch. And that would be the center. Okay. I know, because that's going to give me, that's going to put it right at the bottom. So let's go up another 1/2 inch. We'll keep going up until we're happy. We'll go right there. Okay. Now let's take our line and move it to there. Alright, now we're getting dialed in. That's probably what I should have done in the beginning. Now I can get this to where there's not more than 4 inches between. So 3.5 would be, let's go to the next one. So if we went 4, that would be 8. That would be the same number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'd be one more at 4. But we can go a little bit farther. Yeah, 4 5/8 gives us, let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's try that. But let's make these a group now, because I don't want it interfering with my radius again. And what we shall do is we are going to go up here. What was it? 4 5/8. Yeah, we're going to start out on this one. And I'm going to do that thing where I take the pitch of the rail, put it right here. Then I'm going to make myself a way to I'm just going to start out with a triangle, and then I'm going to fix it to where it's 90 degrees. I think that's going to be the quickest thing. Oops. I want this to be on that plane, and I want to go 90 degrees. And I know somebody's saying this is not necessary. Well, it is for me, so just bear with me. I need this. I need a surface here that I can put my radius on. This is just the easiest way I found to do it. Okay, because I need this. I need that angle, and I need this. See, I need my radius to be on that angle. So I'm going to go. We're still going to do 1 inch rods. Now we're going to take this, delete all this stuff. Oops, that was not the push-pull tool. I don't have a face across there. Yeah, I do. We'll do that, and we'll go down here and pull this down. Alright, got in the floor. Come on, man. Work with me, man. Bring this down to here for now. That went in there. Yeah. And then we'll make a group and a, I don't know why I'm in the habit of making a group before a component, but you don't necessarily have to do that. Then I'm going to go over here and make it all gray like the others. Select. Alright. And we're going to go down to 4 5/8, and we'll see. The only thing, what we're going to do, yeah, we're going to change 4 5/8. Alright, so that puts that closer. I'm just not sure if it's going to be worth it or not, because see now Yeah, see, that's not going to work because that means this one's going to be really close to the floor. Like this one, like this bottom one would be right there. So I think we actually had it right the first time. I just wanted to kind of play with that idea. And I wanted to show Glen. Let's go all the way back. There we go. I like it. I like it like this. I don't think anybody's gonna. I mean, his house is already built. He doesn't have to worry about building inspectors now. What you have to worry about is sometime in the future, if you want to sell your house, you'll have a home inspector from some finance company, the bank coming and saying, "Oh, well, look at this." Well, all this is really going to meet code. All this, which is really what they're going to look at. They usually forgive any little weirdness on the rail coming down the step. The only thing they won't forgive is this thing where you have to have a handrail against the wall, a wall mounted rail, because this top rail doesn't meet the handrail specs. It's got to be a cross section where you can grab around it. And let's see if handrail. It's usually like an oval shaped. Um, the most popular one is, let's see. You'll see. Well, the problem is in SketchUp you'll see a lot of these. It's kind of like this. This is more of a heavy duty one, but you don't use that for the wall mounted. Let's see if there's going to be one here quickly I can find. See there, here's handrail profiles. Okay, here we go. This is good. Yes. Thank you, whoever did that. I'll just put it out here somewhere, and I'll show you the most popular one. Oh, they got them laying down. Okay, good. The most popular one is for a wall-mounted rail is. Let me get this in this view mode. Is tracking. This one right here is close. This one. No, there it is right there. I found it. That's it right there. That is your most popular one, because what happens is this flat spot on bottom, well, it's duty. Why is it doing that? This flat spot on bottom gives you a place to mount your bracket. Okay. Right. So that's it right there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this and move it over here. And we'll just put it right there for right now. And then I'm going to move all this other stuff out of the way. But you can see how many. Let's cut it out of that. Put it back. Paste in place. And then we're going to move this. But you can see how many options there are. But the problem is some of these are custom orders. Like all these. Like what you'll find if you go to a lumber yard is one like this. Right there. What else? They're kind of similar, but they're different. Like this one, that's another one that's kind of popular at the lumber yard or the trim store. But most of these others are like custom order type things, except for that one I just picked out. These three are, and then you got bull nose. You see, here's the bull noses up here, which we were going to talk about in a minute. I may have to take a break and do this in two sections, two parts, but we're going to put that over there for right now. And I'm going to show you how this wall-mounted rail is done. I'm going to put this up here. First, I'm going to make it long enough to do what I want to do. I'm just going to do this. Then I'm going to put this right here. Get over there. Get over there. There we go. What did I grab? I grabbed the wrong thing. Then I'm going to put it, I'm just going to get it close for now. And then I'm going to move it back. And then I'm going to adjust it. But I'm going to put it over here where I'll have a flat surface to work with. Like that. See, now I've got this flat surface I can rotate with. See? So I can go up here, and then I can go up here, grab that point, and then I can put it at the point of this one, and that gets the angle proper, like that. And then it will come down, and it will come off the wall a little bit. And that will be based on your bracket. And then it will come down. Now what I normally do is, honestly, the easiest way to do this, if you're drawing this from scratch, is, let me go to my, tell you what I need to do. I need to take a little potty break here, just to go tinkle. And so I'm going to put a sign up here. I've never had to do this before. Be back in a sec. Right, I'll be back in a sec. Oh, me. Oh, am I back? Am I back? I'm back. Sorry about that. That was one of those Austin Power peas. But this handrail will go about 1.5 inches off the wall. I'll show you an easy way to draw these too. 0.5. What you can do is take this this profile. Let's just put it right here. Like that. Let's see if we can find a handrail bracket. That tells us handrail bracket. I want to find a real one. The ones I like have a like this. Here we go. This is the ones I like. It has a one hole in it. Hope it's not giant size. Yeah, good. So we'll spin this around and we'll bring it out. So these work better because the ones with the two holes are they just don't work as good. Just trust me. Well, what they do is they'll put two holes really close together, and one of them will hit the stud and the other one won't. This is actually better. You have one hole, and it's usually a little bit bigger, little screw. It's a decorative little lag bolt. It's got a decorative head on it, and it works good. And we always put blocking in the wall before we hang drywall. But what this will do is it'll tell you. What we'll do is we'll put this up here, and this will tell us how to rotate our bracket. See, then we can put this on here. Oops, I'm trying to rotate trying to rotate the bracket, not the let's see, I'm trying to do this. Where am I? I feel like I'm not. Oh, it's got a radius on it. See, this is the difficult part about using a radius on anything. When you're trying to rotate it, it gives you trouble. So I want to lock to that, and I want to go boom, boom, boom. See, now that's the nice thing about this being round, is the orientation of it doesn't matter. And so we're just going to put that, we're going to move it up a little bit, up the wall. And now we're going to establish our height. But honestly, what I was going to do is show you, let me get this at the right height. These I like to be about 34 inches. For me, I don't know, that's just a comfortable height. And it also, if you'll put it a little bit lower, so that the code will have you measure from the edge of this nose here, like this. If you'll put it a little bit, if you'll put it at 34, then it won't feel so tall off the floor if you're standing at the bottom of on the stair. It sounds kind of weird, but you'll know what I'm talking about. If you next time you approach a handrail, look at how far it is off the tread versus the floor. I'm going to group this just to make it easier, and then I'm going to move this line over to where it's more in the center of the handrail. So when I raise it up now, I can get it close. Oh, I missed, didn't I? You can go, you can do it between 34 and 36 inches, something like that. You don't want it to be too tall. And why does my bracket look like it's inside the wall? Is it? Did I mess that up? Oh, I see what happened. I think I know what happened. I hope this is what happened. I hope it's not cockeyed. There. Now, the reason it matters is because now you want your handrail. Well, to be honest with you, this is literally how it works out. Whoever drew this bracket knew what they were doing. Because usually when you get this, oops, Usually when you get this handrail at the right distance off the wall, it's right at the edge of that flat spot. That's kind of interesting how this worked out. Yeah, and as a matter of fact, that's how you can tell. That's how you can tell. That's what we normally do when we're doing this, so that we know the handrail's straight. We'll just put it right there at the edge, and that gives you, because you have to have enough room to put your fingers between the wall and the rail, and it's usually like 1.5 inches. And these brackets set it off that far, you see. Now some people will do this, and I guess you can get by with it. Some people will set this in the out here, and you can do that. But remember, the more you bring this out, the more room you lose in your stair. And see, I always make my stairs like 42 inches wide, so that if I have this kind of stuff where the handrail's sitting inside the stair, and then I got this wall mounted rail coming out, you can't reduce this less than 36 inches. You're not supposed to. Again, it's an existing house, so we got 2'11.5". Ironically, if we put this back where it was, we'll have a 3-foot clearance. So we like to, since I'm a certified building inspector also, I'm going to put this, I actually had to become a certified building inspector back in the early 90s because I was a project manager for this. Let's move this over a 16th. Now we're really getting anal. Anyway, I'm going to leave it right there. I was this project manager for this nonprofit housing organization, and we had to do like inspections for projects because of the funding that was being used, and we all had to be 6 inches. You want this to extend past the bottom of the stair a little bit. And the other reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to find the center of this rail. And so anyway, they made me is that right? They made all of us project managers become certified building inspectors. Now, that was back when it was the Southern Building Code in the Southeast. We had the Southern Building Code for a long time. And the Pinko call me, I'm just kidding. I love to be a redneck sometimes. The International Building Code didn't come into play, until years after. I forgot exactly when it was, but so we're going to come down here, and we're going to come down to here, and let me see if I can look at this 3-dimensionally. Yeah, we're going to come down here ways, and then go over to the wall. What I'm trying to show you is how you can draw this with the Follow Me tool. Okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this profile, and I'm going to pull it down a little bit, and then I'm going to pull the rest of this out of the way. Cut. And I'm going to go outside of all that, and I'm going to paste it back in place. I'm going to make a group out of it though, and then I'm going to move it over here just until I'm done. I'm going to go over at 26 inches. Okay, now I can show you. Let me get rid of some of these guidelines, and I can take a line here. Is that going to stay? Yeah, that'll inference. The one thing nice about SketchUp is that the inferencing. You notice how it's going at the right angle because I started that other. Now we're gonna. This is where it's going to get a little bit, shifty here, and I'm going to bring it to there just for now, okay? And you'll see what I'm talking, because now we have to close off this little section here too. But I'm going to do this handrail, this wall mounted handrail over here, and then we're going to see how it all works out. And we're going to really test the building inspector on this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to weld all these together, all those individual lines, and then all you got to do is get this here, and you can do the follow me tool, go in this direction. What did I do? I want this. Oh, I see what it is. I need to get this. I need to cut this. And I need to go in. Wait. I need to cut this. I think this is what I need to do. And get this pasted in place. I need to get it inside that group. And then I can select this. Select that face and follow me. Okay, it's got to be literally. I'm going to explode this little group and then do follow me. Why is it not locking? Okay, so I'm going to select that, and somehow my path got unwelded. Oh brother. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I created a black hole. Look at that. You know what I did? I made the wall follow the handrail. Look. Look, the wall followed the handrail. Okay, so we're going to go back and undo this because we want to live for another day. And then we're going to go. I knew something was weird. I accidentally selected the wall. So that's all one thing. That's a group. We're going to cut this out. And we're going to put it in this group with this thing. Paste in place. Then we're going to explode this. And then we're going to... Why is that? For some reason, that's... Alright, now we're going to select this face. There we go. Now that should have gone up there and turned the corner. The whole reason I'm doing this follow me is because it did not turn the corner. Now I'm mad. I'm mad. Let's see if it'll do it down here. This follow me thing is a little bit weird. And see, it wasn't welded there. So let's weld this. And then we're going, is that a face? Yeah, we're going to select this and then follow me. Okay, it worked there. So I think I can make it work up there. Then what we need to do is soften all this. And then hide this. Let's see, can we delete this? Or will it all... Oh, good. Sometimes if you delete that, some of the faces will go away. Yeah, so you got to be careful. And if they go away, you just have to hide them. Let's see. Let's see. But oh, I don't want to get rid of that yet. Okay. All right, so that's going to be, that worked out good there, because that's what happens. You have to return the handrail to the wall. That's why I was going through all that rigmarole, because what you'll have is you'll have a joint here where you'll have a 45. Looks all nice and pretty now, but in real life you'll have a miter right here. You can't leave it open on the end like this up here, because you'll snag yourself. You'll snag your sleeve. If you have a coat or something, you'll snag it on the end of that, and then that's the theory anyway, and then you'll trip yourself and you'll die. Your handrail will kill you. So what we're going to do is push this back. Oh, I see what's going on. And we're going to draw some new line. And we're going to try to get it to, we're going to weld this what I should be doing, I should take this and move it down for now. Let's see, I need a construction line there to follow. See, things can get kind of hairy when you're drawing it. It's like being on a construction site. It's kind of dangerous. Let's go back down here so it won't overlap the wall yet, and then we'll weld this. Because it has to be like almost like a polyline. It has to be we'll weld that, and then we'll select that face, and then we'll get it to follow that path. Well, no, we got to select the path first, and then select the face. Well, darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. There we go. You just gotta keep trying, man. You can't give up. Never give up. Then soften it, get rid of all those little things, and then you can hopefully delete that without destroying the whole thing. We got lucky. Now we can delete this. Right? Now, that's kind of that way. And then now you're just going to have to kind of, and now that I'm comfortable, I don't need this anymore. That's why they just have the little profiles over here. You know, they'll just, these are the handrail profiles, and you can use the follow me tool to do the whole rail. And so this one, I still feel like this bracket is not, is something's weird about it, but I'm just going to overlook it for now because I know I've been, what are we going, 20 hours already. I'm going to bring this down some. I don't know why the edge is being fussy. There is an edge there. I'm going to bring this down some. This is just, you know, you want to bring this down close enough to where it'll support this overhang, but you don't want it so close that it looks ugly. Ugly is what we're trying to avoid. You know, you don't want to bring this down to here, but you don't want to get it into your miter, so you just want it to look nice. So bring it down to where it supports it, but then looks nice. That's the rule. And then what we're going to do is kind of figure out how many we need. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to divide it by 5 spaces. So what we'll do is, and these brackets are pretty strong. You don't have to put them too close together. So we're going to take this one. Oh God, did I get in the wall? No, I got in the handrail. And I'm going to go up here. Divided by 5. There we go. That looks pretty good. Yeah, and see, oh God. That's why I didn't run these second floor walls all the way up, because I keep getting trapped in them. So let's delete those guidelines. Now, so that's what you have to do. Jesus, the floor is killing me. That's what you have to do. Okay, watch the floor. I don't want to get too close. When you're when you have a handrail that doesn't meet code over here. Now, what's funny is I have actually gone and mounted that same rail on over here, but it doesn't look as good. I had one customer or several customers, and you can do this on decks and things too, like outside. Let's say the outside of your house is a brick wall or something you don't want to mount the handrail to. You can mount the rail to the size of this posts over here. And typically on the inside we don't do it like that. Let's see, where's my, Is that it? Oh, that's it right there. So I'm going to mirror this -1. And then this would go but it would go up here somewhere like that. And it looks, you can see already, it's kind of weird. And the thing about it is, it has to meet code too. So you see how it gets weird. But now sometimes we'll do this on decks, and because then this and what happens is it stands off a little farther like that, and then this return would be bigger. You just gotta have room for your fingers to go between the handrails. And that may seem redundant, and it is redundant, but sometimes to meet, you gotta meet code. And honestly, sometimes we'll mount that rail, and then after the building inspection, we'll go take it down. I've done that 3 or 4 times in the last 40 years. So sometimes you got to do what you got to do to close out, get your certificate of occupancy. Now, these, see if I have any. Just lit the fire. Just lit the fire drum, and the guy next door had some wood to get rid of. Oh, I guess it's not fireplace weather anymore, is it? Now this is going to be a little bit awkward here because he's got this little spot where I wish that wall extended. Oh, I'm going too far. I'd almost, if it was me, I'd be tempted to build a little half wall there and run the wall-mounted handrail up. I mean, I may even just suggest that because, and then if he doesn't want to do it, so in other words, this is this is literally what we would do in this case if I was building. I'd have a, is this a group? No, yeah. This would come out to here, and then your handrail would extend up. And what you do is let's see, where's my rectangle tool? We want to offset first. You'd come out here, have your cap, what's that, 1, and then you'd come up, have these come up, 1, you just have some kind of little piece of trim there, like that, to give it a cap, like that. And then this handrail, let's just not select this yet. This would, but we need our construction line again down here because it's hard to follow that angle unless you put a construction line there. Then this thing, you can get by with this by code. This can extend. That's acting weird. Did I get enough of it? All that, and deselect that, and then I'm not sure why it's doing that. Why is it doing that? That whole thing should pull up. Maybe I was trying to grab too much. Well, isn't that bizarre? That is bizarre. I should be able to select. In any event, maybe I can get the other end to cooperate. This would. Are these going to come up? Are these going to come up with it? Yeah, this handrail would come up to. come up. Okay, we're having troubles now, aren't we? We're going to bring this handrail will come up to here. Just as far as you can get it. Like that. Right. And then that's really, to me, that's honestly, if you don't mind doing drywall work, a little framing and drywall, that's going to look the best. Because, let's see if this end will cooperate. I'm going to be mad if it won't, because why is it not cooperating? This is a mystery to me. But I know I can do. I just realized that I can break the handrail. I can break the handrail somewhere. And how would I do that? Well, anyway, I'll play with that later. So this is not a 12-hour long video, which it probably already is. This is what I'm going to suggest up here, just like that. The only other way to get by with that is, and see, these walls are 8 feet. You know, they're whatever they are, 5 feet more. They're up there, right? So these all go up. I just drew them short because they were getting in my way visually, or when I was trying to scroll or move around. But the only way to get around this is to build 2 more little posts, right? Which is going to be wanky. It's going to be hard to get it. You're going to have to cut out the floor and sink it in there and bolt it and all that. It's going to be harder than these. And then you'll have to build a half post to go right here, because it'll look funny if you put a whole one right there. And then you got all the little bars to put in there. So to me, this is the better solution. What I'm going to do is leave it like this for now. And I'm kind of mad about this. I'm kind of mad about this handrail thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this one. What I'm going to do is first I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to push it back. No, I'm not. Redo, redo, redo. Okay. I'm going to leave it where it is, and I'm going to copy it over here because I want to keep that length in case he decides to do it the other way. We're actually going to put it way over here. We're going to put it 80 feet or 75 feet. I'll keep up with how far so I can move it back. And then I'm going to put myself some kind of interference here. And let's see, how can I do this? How can I do this? I'm going to come up. $90, and I'm going to come up $90. And let's put this in that group. Oh, we are in the group, aren't we? Yeah, we're editing already. Oops. And I was going to push it to the wall. I didn't want it to stick to the wall. Now I'm going to come up like this, and I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to say intersect faces with selection. Okay, and apparently it's taking a second because my scrolling's not working. Yeah. I hope I didn't crash my model doing that, because I haven't pushed save in a while. Let's all pray to Jesus. What is it doing? Oh, crud. What did I do? Maybe the end of the live stream. Right? Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. Save. Whew. That was close. Now I can come in here and delete all this junk that my little interference project. And I can just cut out, let's see, should be able to cut out all this stuff. There we go. Now I can move this down. Since this, I'm pretty sure it has to do with the way, let's put this over here and then come out about 6 inches. Usually about 6 inches is what we'll do. Past the bottom. You want the handrail to extend a little bit past the bottom of the stair. And I'm not quite sure why I wasn't able to pull that whole end, but it doesn't matter because I got this figured out now. Where's the end of it? Right there. Because what I'm going to do is select this, and I'm going to pull it all down here, and I'm going to use this point right here. Well, close enough for now. And then I can just pull. One thing I do know will work is that face closed off there? Yeah, good. I can push pull that to connect it, to reconnect it. See, and then I can delete. Should be able to delete those. Yeah. There we go. Now we have a long one for that option. Delete our guidelines. Now we have a long handrail for that option, and I have my shorter one for the shorter in case he decides to do. I just need to, for now, I'm gonna wait till he decides. I'm just gonna show one down here, but I'm not gonna get too anal about it because about the spacing, because now listen to me. I said I wasn't gonna get anal. I'm just gonna pull this up just a little bit. What is that? Oh, that's where alright, we're gonna not get anal. That's where I caused that interference pattern so I could delete all that stuff. So I'll get rid of that handrail. So anyway, that's part of the planning of this project. I think this will look better, but we'll see. And it's already 1. I've already been doing this for what, 3 hours? Let's check for comments, and we'll check for our time here. Where is it? Where does it say how long we've been going? Oh, hour and 10 minutes. Okay, that's not too bad. I thought it was longer than that. That can't be true. It has to be longer. Oh, that's 110. That's 110. So 12:1. We've been going about 2 hours. So it's not as long as I thought. So anyway, we'll end. I'm going to end it here, and I'm going to send him a link to this video in case he hasn't seen it, and I'll get his feedback on this, and we will go from there. Now I'm trying to find a good thumbnail view. And but anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys, Gary and Richard and whoever else, Pete, Warsaw, all you guys for coming into the chat. It's fun to have someone to talk to. I'm out in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. I have nobody to talk to except the raccoons and bears and possums and squirrels, and they can't talk southern Tennessee like I can. Anyway, I will see you next time. Thanks.